Hello there, fellow humans. It's Tank Request time. It is an unprecedented offer. Would you look at that? Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's not actually, because €7 for one container and 1.5k gold. Okay, at least it's 6 hours. I mean, you can get 2.5k gold for €5. But anyway. Funny. Hey look, it's another one of these, you have to play all the tiers. We only get half the rewards events. But you can pay your way out. Oh. Ain't that cute. Alright. Let me see. How's that? What is it? What is YouTube doing? Anyway, as always, let's start off with a birthday tank. Ooh, it's the chieftain's birthday. I mean, between the chieftain and a 114, which one will I pick? You wonder which one I will pick. Also do a cobra. Yeah, I definitely want that. Right. Hello, Diego. How you doing? Also, auction. I found it hilarious that this thing's 15,000 right now. Deal over, deal over, deal over. Has anything sold out? Hold on, deal over. Got the Brigetto, the Chimera, the TSL, the Jeso. Ah, okay, they sorted them by sold out, but I mean, 4.7 for the KPZ is a... Well, she's semi-naked because that makes semi more money. You know? I mean, according to anime lore, apparently, I don't know anything about it, but according to that, like the anime girls, they're... With like the way they look and stuff, they're supposed to represent cats, not people. But it's still really weird. Either way. This is like the only one that's not somewhat sexual, right? And even there, you know, we got the crop going on, and not that that's the problem. It's just that the game's main target audience is definitely kids. Right? So, you know, it's a bit weird. But, you know, spot like a money, man. Anyway, though, he will wanted to normalize mooning in mainstream media. Well, they have. What like? What is like Love Island and like those shows, those like reality shows? You know, what is that at this point? You know, like. Jenny, don't get the appeal on those. It's essentially simply like the ability to feel superior to others, right? It's like it's pretty much just hate watching. You know, you look at those people and you can look down on those people. You know, it's like how if you look at another context, you know, when you have like the you know, some people in, like, let's say Oklahoma, you know, they need someone to look down upon, you know, to feel better about their own misery, right? So reality TV and stuff like that is a great escape, right? Because you can just like be like, oh well, these people are so much worse than me, right? And that's most of the appeal, really. And it's also like, anger is a really good driver of ratings. Like, if you can get people mad, angry people click more. You know, angry people click more. It's TV and film and movie. It's all about emotions, right? It doesn't matter what you think. It's all just about how you feel. It's kind of the problem with most TV shows and news at this point, because news is supposed to like be the news, but they figured out that dryly reporting the news in a British accent doesn't make you nearly as much money as, like, riling up people and being like, these people of this different ethnicity are trying to eat your cats and dogs. That's gonna get a lot more people going, right? Because on the one hand, you're gonna get people going that believe that stuff. On the other hand, you're gonna get people to be like, what the hell are they talking about? That's just like, that doesn't make any sense. You know, so you're gonna get everybody to act more on their instincts rather than their intelligence, right? And that's exactly the point. That's the entirety of marketing and sales and all that, and TV ratings is all just getting people to act more on instinct. It don't matter what you think. It's just about what you feel. It's professional rage baiting. Yes, that is exactly what it is. I mean, what do you think, like, Fox News is? You know, that's all it is, you know? Because on the one hand, you got the people that actually believe it, and on the other hand, you got people that make fun of the people that actually believe it. So you, like, sort of get everybody. But anime doesn't have gooning. Well, of course not. Anime is not about gooning. It's just anime, but a lot of people make it weird, you know? It's like, you know, because, I mean, would anybody talk about, like, imagine a guy in a suit reading off a piece of paper what happened. Nobody's gonna talk about that, you know? Nobody's gonna, like, respond to that. They're gonna be like, okay, you know, thank you for telling me the news, or you're not gonna have, like, an emotional reaction to that in most cases. You're gonna be like, alright, that happened, sure. But if, then again, you know, like, they're trying to eat your dogs! That's a lot more catchy, you know, because it appeals to your inner animal, basically. All right. It's the same with, like, I mean, look at Blitz. You know, all the marketing that's going on. It's basically just it's reversing psychology. You know, it's not reverse psychology, but it's like just taking whatever you've learned about humans in psychology, and they're just doing the opposite of it. You know, like, you find out, okay, this is how people can be manipulated. You know, if you, let's say, if you do this, blah blah blah, they're gonna have this and this reaction, and then you can just use that. Right? You're gonna be like, I mean, right now, I wrote on Discord, there's people that are mad because cheese has black people on it. That's the controversy. People are mad because a brand of cheese made artists make a temporary style for their cheese, and that temporary style happens to include black people and things like love and family. So some people are mad about it. And it's great publicity as well, right? Because everyone's now talking about the cheese because the crazy people are talking about it, right? Because they're mad about it, and everybody else is like, the crazy people are mad about the cheese, what the hell? So that gives the brand a lot of exposure for free, essentially. I don't think that was intended, but in that case, but in a lot of cases, pissing off conservatives is an actual marketing strategy now, because they'll be outraged about everything, right? So you can get them mad, especially if it's like products that they wouldn't buy anyway. You know, if it's like beer, it's a little bit of a problem, right? Or if it's like steak or something like that. If it's like typical rural moron products, you know, then it's a bit hard to pull off because you don't want the people to be part of your target audience that you piss off. But, like, it's cheese. You know? It's cheese in this case. So if you could actually make that certain type of right-winger angry, then that's a valid marketing strategy, right? Because they'll be mad on Twitter, they'll post about it, they'll increase your reach massively, and then news are gonna report it, and they're gonna be like, oh, the Group X is outraged about cheese, and then everybody's gonna be like, oh, what's the cheese? And then you're gonna have some people be like, okay, if they're mad about it, I'm gonna buy the cheese. You know? So it is a valid marketing tactic at this point. People are mad that there are female custodians in 40k now. Yes, because everything that's not a white male man is woke. Hold on. I mean, look at it on Blitz. Look at it. Look at the comments and like the commander announcements. It's the same there, you know. I don't want that woke crap. It's like, because it's a woman with purple hair. Hello, same. How you doing? Hi, Marky. Alright, it is time for tank requests. Let's go. We've talked enough about woke cheese. Yo, Pyoko Haywards. Hello, Glory. Alright. List. There it is. E75. Project Louis. T57 and 53 TP. Alright, very nice. Well, I have to put that on the over here. Okay, how you doing? We're making the cheese woke. The cheese is Yeah, I wonder why they're like... Do they know that milk is made from female cows? They know that. Some of them are brown. But apparently human racism doesn't extend to cows. Somehow. Alright. That's the even bigger problem, you know? It's like this... What are you doing? All milk tastes the same. Alright. Well, okay. Does milk also taste better if you feed the cow pineapple? Or is that just a bull thing? Alright. Pin that. Exactly. That reminds me of this like funny post. I don't know if that was real, but apparently there was like this person. Like they, you know, Coca-Cola puts like names on their Coke bottles sometimes. So a milk company did the same, but they put like the names of the cows on the milk, which is bogus because the majority of cows don't have a name, especially in like factory farms. I mean, in a private farm, like a small farmer, they're definitely gonna have a name. But if like in a big factory farm, it's gonna be like, "Hey, cow, BE-57-562." So basically, they printed the name of the cows on the milk jar, and then somebody asked, "Why are they, why is it all girl names? That's sexist." So At this point, it's like, whenever you go on the internet, just always assume every comment is from a Russian bot. Right? Or it's from like some Russian guy in a basement that's drunk on vodka and is being paid by the Russian government to post this information. Because that's the most likely outcome. Oh. Yeah. See, that's a lot more fun than this. Alright. Alright, do they put the name of the bulls on the stakes? I don't know, probably not. Oh no. Alright. Honestly, at this point again with the cheese, I don't know. It could have been deliberate, you know. They could know that that's gonna piss some people off, but I wouldn't like bet that they did it on purpose because the artists got death threats and stuff for like, yeah. I had to be careful here. Oh, he fired. Well, the T-30 didn't. Help. Well, I'm here, man. As long as you can't see my lower plate, I'll be fine. There we go. Death threats for what? For, like, making art on cheese. Now the what the hell? What is... I thought I turned that off, YouTube. What the heck? Hold on. Three ads in 15 minutes. It's already set to the lowest setting. Jesus. YouTube TV, I guess. Yeah, maybe. Because I set it to like the lowest... I set it to the lowest possible frequency. So... Just, why would you pay for YouTube Premium? Just get an ad blocker. Like, honestly, just get an ad blocker. If you don't use uBlock Origin already, then that's on you. I mean, you can't on a phone, unfortunately, but, you know. Illegal ad blockers. Yeah, you're thinking that's funny, but there's a current German news company. It's essentially the German equivalent to Fox News. It's Axel Springer. Basically, they run Bild. I don't know if you've ever heard of Bild, but basically it's like the German version of Fox News. And they're trying to like sue to get ad blockers banned because they allege that ad blockers influence their copyright, because obviously the ad blocker removes a portion of their website, and so they try to argue that it's a copyright infringement to use an ad blocker because like you change the website by using it. Which is dumb, because if you go on a website and you press F12, you can remove the ads yourself, because every single ad that ever existed is injected and not baked in. Right? Like, they're not built into the website. They come from the outside with a... most of the time it's like a provider like Google Ads. Right? Because if you bake it in, you have to like manually change it all the time. If it's like a sponsorship, then it could be like baked in. Right? You have it part of the actual website code, but most of the ads, they're dynamic. They're also, you know, using cookies, and they're specifically tailored to you. So it doesn't even make sense to bake them in, so it's not part of the website. There'll be too many people, too many angry people. Yeah, like, what are they gonna do? Like, is the, SEK, like, the German SWAT, basically, is the SEK gonna burst into my door at 6 a.m. because I use an ad blocker? You know? Like, how are they gonna enforce that? Oh, damn. I'm impressed and paranoid. Don't be, because here's the thing. By 2100, we expect a climate warming of about 2.7 degrees. Right? So, here's what you can do. You will be able to watch live and in color a event that has never occurred to the human race before. And if you make it out alive, you will be rewarded with a live premium experience of watching the entire thing unfold. So don't go anywhere, because it will be worth watching.
Let's get this show on the road.
I want to suggest something. Is it drugs? Don't say drugs. Don't take drugs, kids.
Our driver is dead. We can barely move. Sentry shot.
The majority of addictions exist out of boredom.
Our track is in
Yeah, man.
any minute.
Lol, he screwed up too.
We've lost the track. We're immobilized.
The majority of addictions exist out of boredom. Right, because you got nothing else to do. So you're trying to, like, drown out the noise. So... Or you're like Elon Musk and you're just like, again, have nothing better to do. So what are you gonna do at that point?
Punched right through their armor.
Well, when you've won capitalism. How are you, a grown man scared of telling your age? Lock in. What? Lock into what? Alright. Right, don't take drug kids, suggest adults should. Well, I mean, for example, the entire investment banking industry only exists because cocaine is working. So, yeah. A lot of people that... Like, a lot of people in pointless jobs, like investment bankers, do take a lot of drugs and do work insane hours. So, and in the medical field as well, because like this whole like these schedules in the medical field, right? We have like a 24-hour shift and stuff like that. They only exist because a drugged up guy, like the guy was like, he took every drug that he could find, and then he was like, okay, this is perfectly doable. We should do this. And now they copied that guy's system pretty much all across the board, and that's why you now have to like do 24-hour hospital shifts, even though that's like the dumbest thing imaginable. But because one drugged up guy was like, that's the way to do it. So yeah, basically a lot of human systems and actions are basically just butterfly effect. Like one tiny thing happens and everything just gets copied on that, right? So it is pretty depressing if you look into the origins. A lot of systems that we run, it's pretty pathetic how they happen. Some hacker dude gonna find out my location with the first name. Well, they can find... If someone is interested enough, they can find your location right now through YouTube. So... yeah. Because, like frat boys at college that don't know what no means, there's always a way into the back door. This sentence was sponsored by probably a future Republican representative. Alright, well. Let's see. What can we do? I mean, we're at tier 49, I don't want to fight that. There he is. Come on, fire. Fire, fire. He didn't fire. Oh. Let's take him out then. Goodbye. Goodbye. We got our two heavies. Well, we got one heavy out here, and then the other one in the city. So it's interesting. Republicans might always be bad. At this point, if one's still in that party, then yes, they are. So... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see. Didn't they find a long time ago? Well, yes, because the US parties essentially switched sides. Like, they spun around. You know? So... yeah. They basically, like, turn around with, around the Second World War with FDR and stuff like that. The Democrats turn around, and then the Republicans were like, you know what? If we're racist, we can win elections. And boom. Wait. The sad part is, I probably know more about American history than most Americans, which is sad. Then again, I know less about Georgian history than most Georgians, so maybe I'll have to brush up on that. I mean the country, not the... There we go. Piles of gold with 80% off. 80% off the value, yes. So... like, you're paying $5.99, and you're getting $5.99 worth of value. VK90p container. See, what's funny is that the charms in these, they're different. Okay, I want to show you something. Oh, I want to show you something funny. These certificates, right? Some of them you can exchange, right? Some of them you can exchange. Look at this. For credits. In case you don't know that, you can exchange some of them for credits, but some of them you can't exchange. Like, for example, this one you can't exchange. However, these, like, for example, the STRV, you can exchange them. Right? So... yeah. Alright. Which modern leader in the last 100 years would you call great? Good question. In terms of the... like, the US? None. None of them. You know, it's like... like, basically, to find, like, a... in terms of a... the US, like, to find a reasonable Republican president, you gotta go back to fucking Dwight. You gotta go back to Dwight. Yeah, this is a bit screwed up, but, I mean, if we look at Germany... for example, if you look at Germany, you have Merkel, which did nothing. Right? Her magic power was always... she did nothing. right? And if you do nothing, you don't make mistakes, and you get re-elected. Right, before that you had Schroeder, who was... He's currently cuddling with Putin, so no on that guy. Well, then you had 16 years of Kohl, which was awful, because he also did nothing. Before that you got... Well, the one guy that was semi-decent, he had to resign because his top advisor was a East German spy. So you can't call that great either, right? When you like sort of do okay, but then your guy's a freaking spy. So none in Germany. Let's think France. I don't know enough about those. I don't know enough about them. I don't know. I mean, De Gaulle, maybe. That's way too long ago. Nope. Alright. Indian mentioned hard disagree. Well, I don't know anything about India. I know a bit about Modi, and the things I know are not good. So that's not good. I mean, Russia has never had a good leader, ever. So there's that. I mean, perhaps the, what was his name? Lech Walesa from Solidarnosc in Poland. Maybe that guy. Even though, you know, not perfect, but yeah. Would you say De Gaulle the Great? I would say he didn't trust Americans, and that's about as great as you can be as a politician in Europe these days. Don't trust the Americans. For Ukraine, I'd say... Well, I mean, for Ukraine, I'd make a very reasonable point that the current guy is kind of doing a pretty fucking good job for the circumstances he's in. Right? For being a comedian. 1950 was the last time Republicans were worth it. Yeah, pretty much. See, but that's the thing. When they say they want to make America great again, they want to go back to that time. The problem is the current Republican Party and the Republican Party then have nothing to do with each other. So, you know, because the racists back then were in a different party. So far. Anyway. Tank requests. Woo! Wasn't Gorbachev decent? Yeah, but he didn't really have a lot of time to do anything. You know? Like, sure, he did a good job, but the main job that he did was dissolving the Soviet Union, so... Which is a good thing from the outside, but not really from the inside. America, put effort into upliftment of your community. I mean, would you have called Mandela? I don't know. I don't know enough about that guy. I don't know enough about that guy, to be honest, to like make a proper judgments. I do know that he did end apartheid, sort of. So, but there's that. Congratulations. What the country with the cleanest record and least amount of atrocities committed? Probably Iceland? So, you know, like Iceland, or basically any country that doesn't have any countries close to it. You know? And maybe like New Zealand as well. Internally, of course, but... You know, it's like... 243... Shadow... 65... You can just request more tanks. 140... Request more tanks. Don't forget the Great Wall of the Shield. Yeah, but he wasn't, like, president or anything. He was just, like... He did an oopsie. I don't want you to your country. Your country is irrelevant. What? What? Yeah. It's like that's the thing. Like when you have two countries that are the same people, or when you have like two countries that are next to each other that are the same people, they're pretty much always gonna hate each other, right? Because there's nothing that people hate more than themselves, right? Because that's the thing, you know, like, American racism is like hating people of a different color. But like Asian racism is hating people that look exactly the same. So that's elevated, you know? That's a higher tier of achievement. Let's go to T56 and 047. Haven't had that in a very long time. Hello, Gold. Well, you don't know what that is. Let's see, T43, which is, by the way, a solid tank if you are grinding out your way to the T62A, which I can recommend. Man supported ideology of Pakistan, opposed Nehru. Well, you know, I mean, India was supposed to be secular. Oops. Turkey was supposed to be secular. Oops. America's supposed to be secular. Oops. So, do I need to remind you? You realize, yeah, but that, like, we invented it. Well, not really, but perfected it probably. Which is not a good thing. Cobra was requested for it. Yeah, but I don't have that. Where's the Cobra? T43 Progetto. Oh, there. Don't know what sort of alternative history you're making there. What alternative history? See, that's the good thing about history, at least to a degree, that most people that are interested in history are nerds. So they're just gonna write down what happened. So like over time, it tends to be that what actually happened is what gets written down for the most part. Alright. You're trying to hit other Western based on sunlight they see drink. Yeah. Exactly. That's why I say you don't know what racism is, because that's just it's just natural for being French. Is to detest anything that is not French. So actually, Farah, I'm pretty nerdy. Yeah, I mean, that's how history goes, you know. Like the people that are mad about cheese, the people that are mad about cheese being woke, aren't historians. They don't record history. They don't research history, right? So they don't even know what history is. So most of the people that research history, that write down history, they know what they're doing, right? So eventually, in a lot of cases, what the truth eventually stands at last, right? I mean, you have so many dictatorships and stuff that tried to obfuscate what actually happened and tried to, you know, change reality, but in the end, they crumbled, and we know what actually happened, in most cases. Yeah. Yeah, 1971 was fought by Indian Army for the liberation of East Bengal, such an alternative history. What? I don't know, what are you on about? I have no idea what... Being called a nerd hasn't been an insult for a while now. Yeah, it's it's not an insult. At this point, it's an honor to be a nerd. Polish cheese is so incredible. I mean, yeah, definitely. Definitely, but... yeah. In case you don't know, in case you joined a little bit later, currently in Germany there's a controversy because a cheese brand puts like a temporary style on their cheese packets. And those cheeses were made by artists, like those designs. And those designs include things like hearts, signifying people that love each other, or it's people of different skin colors that are on those designs. Right? So there's a somewhat unreasonable portion of people that are mad about that currently. So, yeah, cheese is woke now. Apparently. And, yeah. This is life. C971, I was heroic in battle. I see, delusional. Well, given the, I do know this about the whole 1971 thing, is that I do know that the Pakistani leader at the time was a insane asshole that basically wanted people in Bangladesh to just die. So, yeah. Uncool. Like, there was a natural disaster. If I remember this right, there was like a natural disaster. And they was like, oh, we should help the people, and the guy was like, no. Hello, depressed loner, how you doing? Well, they sold Polish cheese in Ukraine. Why not in Germany? Well, I don't know. We have German cheese. We have a lot of cheese. So. Hello, Fire Guy. How you doing? Do you believe in woke cheese? Alright. I mean, there are countries that has a history of leaders it doesn't deserve, and then there are countries that have a history of leaders they do deserve. So... because... the leaders will always be the worst people that a society will tolerate. Pretty much. Alright. Uh-oh. American, everything else. Well, if you have, like, American-style products made in Germany, then they're pretty solid, you know? Like, if you got, there's, like, these American hot dog sausages that they sort of do. They're good. You know, if you, like, take the American recipe... like, if you take an American recipe, and you take out all the extra sugar, you take out all the extra fat, you take out all the, insane amounts of chemicals that are in there that are unnecessary, then you can actually have a pretty decent food. You know? Alright. Polish is heaven. Well, I've never tried Polish cheese. I know I've found any, so I don't know. Uh-oh. Hello, Shar. How you doing up there, buddy? How does nobody shoot him? Dang. Oh, same. What's your profession? Well... I am a, brainwashed state propagandist. Something like that. All right. I'm also currently in the process of obtaining a degree in, I'm currently in the, obtaining an engineering degree. Shit. 4.7k. Schlager music. No, it's not. No. As a German, I can tell you that, Schlager is terrible. I messed that was only solved because India put Pakistan in its place. What? What place? It's like... Alright. As a professional HP donor, yeah, I did 5k damage, but I also died. So, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I can tell you about how wargaming's fucking you over and how the media operates because that's what I do, basically. So, yeah. Let's see. There we go. Object 140. Anyway, as two good cheese countries, just stay united by the cheese. Yes. Yes. Hmm. Guys, can you, like, not... Sayed, Pikachu... Like, you're the same people. Both of you. Stop fighting. I know, it's very cheesy. Fair. Fair point. He is very cheesy. Like, literally, just hug it out. Just hug it out. What's with the, I think he's yeah. He's very happy to see me, I suppose. Well, goodbye, leopard. Like, don't know how your media and your stories have glorified the politician. Yeah, what? It's like, what? All right. Oh, Curtis, how you doing? What is he trying to do? Mate, you have like half an hour. What are you doing? Credit card, man. I'm gonna get around him. Yeah. What was he doing? What was he doing? What was he doing? What was he doing? You know, like, I think whenever there's conflicts like that, what I would do, right? whenever there's a conflict like that, you know what I would do? Is I would line everybody up. You know, if there's like two countries or two groups of people that don't like each other, I would line everybody up, right? And then I would ask them, hey, do you want to harm the other guy? And if they say no, let them go. If they say yes, you put them in a cell. Then you go to the other line, and you're like, hey, do you want to harm the other guy? And if they say no, you let them go. And if they say yes, you put them in the same cell. And then, only when they kiss, they're allowed to go. So, that's called rehabilitation. Make love, not hate. I'm trying to light people up. Gorilla's at 150mm gun. Are you just very happy to see me? Nobody I don't have it. Is it what? Why is there so much cheese talk? Because there's a pressing controversy ongoing in Germany. A cheese brand had a sort of design rebrand, a temporary design, right? Where they had like artists design their cheese for them. And the new cheese design that's temporary, it includes things like imagery like love and people of different skin color and like families and, you know, just generally things that happen, you know, like you got one person of one skin color, another person of another skin color, and then a heart in between them, for example. And those things were drawn by artists, right? And now a certain part of the right-wing community is now outraged. Because how could they ever make woke cheese? And, yeah. It is funny. And at this point, you can use that as a valid marketing strategy. Like, pissing off conservatives is at this point a valid marketing strategy. Because nothing brings people together better than a common enemy. Right? Same way, like in Germany, the AfD, they were so against the immigrants, right? Because if you have a common enemy, you can bring people together, and there's not enough Jews anymore because the last time they did that, you know, so now they have to make their target group be immigrants, you know? And it's always like you need a common enemy that you can pile on and hate. So let's see. Let's see. So it's like that, you know, and if your entire ideology is based on outrage, you're gonna find yourself new ways to stay mad. You know, it's like it'll go to woke cheese or woke beer or I don't know, it's like whatever. All right. Ugh. I don't think we're winning this. Yeah, I'm gonna notice a moment. Why? Why? Thought it was our hate of the French. Nah, cheese. Of course, cheese brings people together. Cheese is nice. Was there ever a time where humanity was truly united and there was barely any conflict or hate going around? Maybe for like a week after World War II. Maybe. You know, when everybody was like... But then Stalin was like, fuck all of you! So, that went away quickly. Hold on, I gotta... Give me a second. Alright. Whether being a huge tower. Speaking the same language, but an angry old dude got angry and he was what? I don't like this new profile picture. I think it's funny. I think it's funny. Yeah. I mean, violence is a part of nature, and we are a part of nature. So, here we are. And we're not intelligent enough to regulate our emotions. Enough. All of us. Alright. It will be sold again. This thing, I don't know. They always sell it again. I mean, sure, they're saying that they won't ever sell the ground tank again because of licensing, but licenses can be reobtained later. So, yeah. Basically, anything that Wargaming says, you always have to add a "for now" at the end. You know, if you say Wargaming, if they say they will never sell this again, they always add "for now." There we go. God is not an angry old dude, he's an Estonian twink. I can get behind that. I can get behind that. Well, I mean, if you go by the stories, then God built everyone after his image, so he has to know what an Estonian twink is. So he has to be an Estonian twink, so that is obviously, that is correct and biblically accurate. England last week, a man was arrested for wearing a Palestine action t-shirt, was wearing a plasticine. What? 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 That's interesting. That is interesting. MX 5120 T57 Caliban 5A. Do I even have the Quetzal's right here, but is it? Well, it's not fully equipped. And I'm not gonna... See, that's another thing. You don't get, like, you can't equip this... What? Wargaming's handling of currencies sucks. Sucks. But yeah. 5A... So no Quetzal, unfortunately. TVP. I'll do that. Zagoizal Disco Robosio. Yes. So, if you choose to believe that, like you can flavor your illusion either way you want. You can buy crates where you can get currency money. Yeah. I mean, most currencies in Blitz, I don't know if they don't pay the developers enough to care or what's going on there. But like Blitz at this point has a pretty big currency problem, right? I mean, you saw it again with they tried to implement that weird steel currency in Reforged for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know how do you even like think of, how do you even like implement it? How? Right, like how much? I didn't even know that the drug's illegal. That you need to think of that, you know? I don't want to have 6 degrees. I only have 6 degrees of gun depression. You know, let's add another currency. That's gonna solve the problem. Let's add another currency. That's definitely gonna solve all Blitz's problems. Oh wait, it created 5 more. Remember the clan event like a couple of weeks ago? Where Wargaming previously said that you can reuse the currency, but then you couldn't reuse the currency. So people spent the currency, and then like a day later, Wargaming was like, okay, you can reuse the currency, but then the people already spent the currency, so Wargaming had to like compensate them, but they didn't compensate them fully, so everybody still lost a lot. And that's not even the first time. Yeah, the more fake currencies, the more money you can make off them. Yes, that's the whole point. Yes. Because if you have like one event currency, you could maybe transfer it from event to event. Or you could actually like grasp its value. But now, when you have like 100 different currencies, all their value is pretty much unknown and like random pretty much as well. Yeah. So you can like hide the true cost of it a lot better. You don't have to like bother with conversion rates and value and all that gobbledygook. You know? You don't even have enough gun depression to fucking shoot a K91. I'm about to get Waffenträger, probably. Oh, I don't. Whenever enough money, you get free tier 10s. Yeah, like, you either pay... You pay with time, money, or data. Remember that. Right, the only things that are free on the internet are, like, projects by, single basement developers that spent thousands of hours creating an application that is superior to any, paid product. I mean, like, look at OBS. Look at the streaming software, OBS. It's free. You know, it's made by some dude. You know? Or, a lot of stuff that is, as far as I know, Handbrake, the encoding software, it's free. You don't have to pay anything for it. It's also made by some dude. Or like the community sourced, right? Where you just like, you can write the thing yourself. So, you know, a lot of the things and most of the only things are free because someone else sacrificed their time for no return. Right? That's how society could be a lot more as well, you know? You just do stuff because you want to do it and because it's the right thing to do. Alright, need tank currency. I'm talking about the valueless currency. Valueless currencies. There's probably at this point 50 currencies that this game has used before. It's an insane amount. Air is free and I didn't spend time creating air, the universe did. Well, yeah, but that's like a default requirement for being alive. I mean, water was also created by the universe, and it's not free. Even though it could easily be free. Right? If you would ever make an efficient government, you could, like, let the free markets handle things like the things you don't need, technically, and then have the government handle all the things you do need. Like transportation, healthcare, you know, basically everything that can kill you, or water, could just be, you pay your taxes, you get free water, have fun. Because it's paid for by the taxes. Well, look at that. But no, you need 15 different water distribution companies and 15 different water pipe standards, because... You know, I mean, that's the thing about humans, right? Instead of thinking ahead, we just think about now. You know, it's... Who cares and... Who cares about how it is going to be in 30 years? It's yeah, who cares about other people anyway? Think about that. Imagine helping other people. What the hell? Why would you do that? That's like communism and stuff. That reminds me from a scene from The Nice Guys. Great film, by the way. Absolutely recommend it. If you haven't seen it yet. It is called The Nice Guys. So... basically, it's like... the guy takes his, like, 12, 13-year-old daughter, takes her somewhere, and there's like a party, and she's like, Dad, there's whores here and stuff. And he's like, I told you that 100 times. Don't say and stuff. Just say there's whores here. That was a funny line. All right. Wee! Look at that. Next thing I hear from Marty will be free bread. Call me. Yeah, exactly. Imagine that. Now, water isn't metered, so I pay the same amount as the family of 4 2 doors down. What the? Okay. That's funny. That's kind of funny. Is that, like... does that where the, like, letting the water run while brushing your teeth come from? Because what normal person would do that? But obviously if you pay the same amount no matter how much water you use, you might as well use as much as you... like, at that point. Huh? I don't know. I don't know at that point. That's wild. That's wild. That's wild, though. You could just get a water purification system and stuff like that. Yeah, but water is communist. So, because think about it, water has the same color as vodka, and vodka's communist. So water's communist too. It's got the same color as vodka. However, whiskey, on the other hand, whiskey doesn't have the same color as water. Now, if you do fracking and then extract the water's going to be brown, like the whiskey. And that's not communist anymore. Think about it. Think about it. So, this is the problem of reasoning. To be able to find out what's reasonable and unreasonable, you need to be able to reason properly. Hi, RDK, how you doing? Welcome. Well, we have a tank list, so you'll gotta wait for the next set of tank requests. We gotta do a list. Fork cheese. Let's do this again, Marty. All on black or all on red. No, you're not gonna do this again. Stop it. You have a gambling addiction. Blackberry juice is red, though. Yeah, because it's communist. I mean, red, white, and blue is also the colors of the Russian flag, so maybe America is oh, wait a minute. Oh, now I get it. French entered the chat. I mean, France is... Of course France is communist. I mean, what the hell? France is... What is France's retirement age? 62? That's communist. That's clearly communist. Being happy, clearly communist. The only person that should be happy is your shareholder. You know. All right. Uh-oh. Don't work to throw a protest. Yeah, that's how you do it. Right? That's how you do it. Like, suppose in a regular democracy, that works well, the government serves the people. Right? So, the government should be scared of the people and not the people scared of the government. Right? Because that's how democracy is supposed to work. If it works well. But it never works that well because money is not democratic. If one guy has more money than another guy, they're also more powerful. Yikes. Can't be an alcoholic. My wife is alcohol. Okay. Have you ever tried to divorce? So we're the 80s pop group, communist. No. No. That's something completely different. I never heard of them. So, don't know that. The moment we get paid for doing nothing without needing to pretend I have a job or protest. Yeah, like... You gotta appreciate the French for that. And only for that. Alright, they sure know how to protest. Yeah, I've got the Dr. Disrespect camo. For obvious reasons. Right, Alright, who wants to see my penis? This is Democracy Manifest. I'm playing a succulent Chinese tank. Are you ready to receive my limpy? Okay. Hello, Donkey, how you doing? Did you ask the tank if he wanted you to touch him? What? No, just look up just type Democracy Manifest into YouTube and watch the video. It is, if you have not seen that yet, that is one of the most legendary videos of the entirety of the internet. Right? So you need to know that. It's culture. It's simply a part of culture. And you need to know. I'm here out of sheer boredom. Don't... Wait, isn't that written with 2 E's? Or am I having a Berenstein Bears moment here? Rich breakfast, yeah. Remember, you always eat breakfast during work hours. Always eat breakfast during work hours, because here's the fun thing. During a 40-hour work week, if you don't work on a line, you know, like at a, you know, like an assembly line or something that just moves along. Obviously, you'll have to like work all the time. But if you're working like an office, most of the time, nobody actually works 40 hours, right? You maybe work 30 at best, and the rest is just pretending to work or drinking coffee or, you know. No, one at least before. No, why? Why would you take breakfast without being paid for it? I mean, come on, what the hell? You're not receiving the value that you produce anyway. So why would you put in that value, right? Like, the only people you make richer are the shareholders, mostly, unless you're in a decently well-paying job, you know, like you're the engineer of some kind of sort, you know, like you're I don't know, something like that, you know. But if you're like a regular wage slave, hell no, you're getting fucked. But again, if you're getting paid like 150k a year, and you're creating 2 million of value a year, where's that going? So, where's that going? Well, to the shareholders. That is why, like, that's the thing. If you're broke and you rely on the money of others, you're scum. But if you're a shareholder, if you're rich and you rely on the money of others, right, that pay your dividends, that return your investment, then you're better, you know. The only difference is the amount of money they hold hostage, you know. It's like, oh, fuck off. Boss already hates me for the smoking breaks. Got this job a month ago. Yeah, but why do you smoke? It ruins your gains, man. It ruins your gains. Just become a powerlifter, get diabetes, you can do eating breaks to get your sugar back up. So, I mean, that might reduce your gains as well, but now you're not dying of lung cancer anymore. It ruins the gains, but the aura. No, smoking is like the least attractive thing one can do. Unless you're French, you're wearing a leather coat, and you're in black and white. Right? But other than that, smoking is like the most disgusting thing you can do. I know, besides gargling your own piss for health reasons, maybe, I don't know. That's a real thing. Don't look it up. There are people that believe that. Don't ask why, no. Just don't ask anything, actually. So... Yo, Joe, still the same game as always. Well, it's getting more predatory in their pricing, but yes. But yeah, I think, like... I think smoking is one of the biggest displays of weak character a human can do. Right? Because smoking doesn't have any benefits whatsoever. It just kills you slowly. And if you want to kill yourself, you can do that quicker and cheaper. Not that you should do that. You absolutely shouldn't do that. But smoking is just doing that. Right? So, you know, I think there's nothing worse that you can do than smoking. Except maybe like taking heroin or something, but you know, it's like, what the hell. At least smoke weed, because you can't overdose on that, and it doesn't really kill you either. So FV 4202 Tream Labs. All right. Which you? T 3485 FV 201. Makes you think that I don't. Yeah, well, I mean, if you're smoking weed and whatever. But if you're smoking nicotine cigarettes, that's a little disgusting. KPZ 50T. You know, like, that's the thing. You know what was? You know what? It is like, why do people that hate other people always like hate unreasonable groups of other people? You know, it's like, why do you hate people based on their skin color or their ethnicity or their country? Why would you care about like things that, like, just hate smokers? You know, it's that easy. Just hate smokers, right? They're killing themselves. They're killing other people, and they're basically just like making the environment worse by throwing their trash everywhere. Like, you know, like, wouldn't it be more reasonable if you do want to hate other people? Wouldn't it like make sense to hate people that are actually doing something that's bad? You know, like, I don't get it. Like, just, but I see that's the problem. A smoker can stop smoking. Someone that's a different skin color can't suddenly change their skin color unless they're Michael Jackson. And then he couldn't choose that. So that's why. Because it's always important that your enemy doesn't disappear. Right? That's why it's important that your enemy doesn't disappear. Right? Which is why, I mean, we can tie that back in. If you look at America or any country like far-right governments, whenever there's like far-right governments in power, in a lot of cases migration increases. In a lot of cases, the people that they said they're gonna throw out, you know, criminals and stuff, they're not gonna be thrown out. Why? Because why would you get rid of your own enemy? It's gonna be crazy. It's like the problem the Americans had in the 90s. You know, it's like the Soviet Union just disappeared. How the hell are you going to justify billions and billions of military spending when you have no enemy? You know, it's like you don't want your enemy to disappear. That's why you don't make smokers your enemy, because smokers can stop smoking, right? But you want to have a group of people that can't change who they are, because then they're never going to disappear. Because if you actually get rid of your enemy, you'll have to make a new one, and that's a lot of effort. You know? So, like, trying to get rid of your enemy is, like, the worst thing you can possibly do. So... Alright. Simple. Iraq. Yeah. Precisely. And then Afghanistan for some reason, because a couple of dudes from Saudi... Yeah, whatever. Don't expect logic. How are you gonna justify billions of... See those 2 DAOs over there? Yeah. That's kind of the point, you know? It's like, why do you invade Afghanistan when a bunch of Saudi Arabians flew into your fucking building? Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Alright. Because logic and reason is asking for too much. Of course it is. Hating such a good feeling. Yeah, if you hate something, you are someone. You know, I mean, if you don't hate anything, what are you? 'Cause why would you, like, be reasonable? You could just be mad. 'Cause hate makes already sad people feel better. Exactly. Exactly. That's why, like, nobody in Iceland is mad. Yeah, because they're having a good time. Sort of. I mean, you always have like 15% idiots in anything. Right? It doesn't matter where you are, what group of people, or whatever arbitrary divider you put between people. You know. Now we're vilifying Israel for doing the same thing, leading by example. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Americans kill Arab children with drones. The Israelis use sniper rifles. Can't do that. You gotta use the drones. So, yeah. Hypocrisy is kind of an essential point of that entire thought process. Right? If you're not hypocritical, then there's like no point to even thinking. Right? Like... Alright, baboon boy. Have a good one. Have a good one. Iraq and all the non-existent weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, it's like... I mean, nobody's gonna argue that the guy was not an asshole, because he was an asshole, but like, you don't beat an asshole with an asshole. I mean, they were like, well, you do need a dick to fill an asshole, so George Bush was right there. Aren't we all drones? Well, most, like, yes, the basis of our current school system, the way it's still used, which, by the way, countries like Finland are like #1 in education at everything, because they don't really use that system anymore. Because the system as we use it in schooling currently, it was designed to turn the uneducated goobers into a working class, right? Where, because if you don't know how to run a machine, or if you don't know how to like count your screws, you're a useless worker in that regard, right? So that school system was essentially built to create factory workers that had the skills to do their job, but didn't have the ability to question why they're doing it in the first place, right? Which is why whenever there was like a movement to be like, the fuck are we doing here? They were immediately like, nope, goodbye. Nope, goodbye. You know, because the goal is to produce a efficient worker that doesn't question why they're doing what they're doing. That's the goal. That's why you don't learn about psychology or stuff like that in school. Like, did you have a psychology class in school? Did you go into how humans work specifically? Right? How humans operate and think? Did you do that? No, it was poem analysis. Alright. Alright. Time to eat, I shall return. Alright. What are you eating? What you eating?
I feel
Ugh.
Гусеницы повреждены, шанс разрыва увеличен. Броня не пробита.
Man. I bet that guy eats woke cheese. I bet that guy eats woke cheese. Alright.
Пробил.
Here we are. And the SMV is gonna get that. Oh, I might get the shot. In question yesterday, what do you call me? How dare you be semi-sentient thing for you instead of slaving off? You disgusting communist. Yeah, that's the fun thing, is like, it's always presented as if like communism and capitalism are the only options, which when they're not. That's the Type 63 is in the auction right now. Type 63 is in the auction right now. But it's for 15k. It's for 15k. You know. I think that gay penguins like woke cheese. Well, I don't know if a penguin would eat cheese. I don't even know if a penguin would be able to digest cheese, and because I don't know if penguins are lactose intolerant or not. You know, the fun thing is, you can make yourself lactose tolerant by simply eating a shitload of it. It's just kind of a funny quirk of humanity, where you can get rid of your lactose intolerance by simply consuming a insane amount of milk and stuff in a couple of weeks. You know, like basically, if you only drink milk for 3 or 4 weeks, you will, in a lot of cases, be able to overcome it. What the hell does that mean, Pikachu? What the hell does that mean? I think about 80% of the tanks have gone unsold in the auction. Yeah. It also shows how much like, it's kind of crazy that they don't sell anymore, because previously, like, I don't remember an auction where there were so many unsold tanks, you know? It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy that there's so many unsold tanks. Yeah. Penguins have wings. Well, yeah, they do, because they're birds. They just can't fly with them. You know, it's like horses have fingers.
Let's go.
If you look at the pretty much any mammal, you can find out that their structure and their bones, like basic structure, is the same. Right? It's the exact same. A horse basically walks on the middle finger. Right? Obviously the other just don't exist anymore. But I mean, it's not entirely perfect, but sort of the way it is, right? So I mean, whales have hands. Right? Just really, if you look at a bat, if you look at a bat wing and a whale hand, looks the same. Pretty much.
We didn't penetrate their armor. We've damaged them.
What are you trying to say, man? What are you trying to say? Are you trying to inspire some Rule 34 artists to do some stuff? Question. On like a minotaur or like a horseman, where's the penis? Like, is it at the front or is it at the... Like, is it at the bottom of the torso or is it in the, like, location where the horses is? Does it have two? Does it have like one? Does it have a man penis and a horse penis? Like,
armor is hit. Track hit.
this is the pressing issues of our time. Wales has I mean the animal. Yes, people in Wales have 5 fingers. And whales also have 5 fingers.
Enemy hit.
Well, they don't really, but...
We've damaged them. Penetration. We've damaged them.
Alright. It's the problem, there's a lot of... There's a lot of detail between one funky sentence and a 5-hour lecture on horse fingers.
Penetration. Bail out. This vehicle has had it.
If I was a horseman, I know which one I would be choosing. Yeah, but you're not. But you're not. You're not. You're just a man. A tiny man. Isn't there like this song on YouTube? It's like half horse, half man, something like that. I think that exists. 5'5" ain't tiny. I'm not talking about that height. Also 5'5" is tiny. Wow. By like Dutch standards and like German standards, 5'5" is short. This is average. I mean, maybe for Americans, 5'5" is not the height, but the... Okay. Never mind. Hi, Jose. Maybe that's a nice person. Maybe. How you doing? Okay, what was that? That was four letters. That was 4 letters. What was that? Chat? I need to know. What 4-letter swear was that? What 4-letter swear was that? It seemed like I have a nice personality. Well, no you don't. KPZ, I swear. Swear what? Swear what? Our heavies is shit. This guy is over there. And the other 907 is... like... you know... It's a platoon of 907s. And... they could have taken the hill. But they didn't. Yes. It's Firefox Raider. Are you using Firefox? Because you should be. Don't use Chrome. And don't Edge. Don't use Chrome and don't Edge. Now, how much would you bet that I'm gonna have an angry message from the 907 in my DMs? Or at least that I'm gonna get downvoted by one of them. Who knows? Edge with Chrome. Yeah, true. Nothing. No downvote, no swear. No, damn. I'm disappointed. This is not the Blitz I know. This is not the Blitz I know. This is not the Blitz I know. No, 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 no. Got a whole lot there. Well, yeah, because of Chrome is Brave. Well, I never used Brave. I just basically I installed Firefox in like 2011, and since then I've just never ever bothered with anything else. And if it had something else, I'm using Firefox. I'm using Firefox. All right, Leo. Foch is a member tank. Lance and C. Match at 25T. 25B. And I like Brave. Well, you can get uBlock Origin on Firefox and have the same thing. But I think Brave has the ad blocker built in, so it's not as much effort to get there. But as far as I know, I'm not sure, but a lot of the like third-party browsers also run on Chromium, right? Which is just Google, right? Firefox runs its own engine. So if I'm not mistaken, Brave and like Opera, they also run Chromium. So Fosh 1.5 for Goth, yeah, but you're not Goth, so you can't like request thanks for him. Can I pick two because I'm a mod and this is my punishment for existing? Well, you can pick two, but I'll only play one of them. Like I said, I've always said, like I don't make people mods because I want them to do anything. I want to make people mods that I want to make suffer. Nah, that's the thing. Like I'm not paying any moderator, so I don't expect them to do any work either. It's like, would be weird to not pay people and expect them to work. Take off my Leo. Well, I'm already in battle, so too bad. I mean, at least he was quick. At least he was quick. Can give him that. That one didn't go through, and that's a 183. Oh my god. It's a big fat boy. I mean, the rumpus of us gonna die now. I mean, Swedish Leo. Well, if you don't specify what Leo, you're getting this one. I suffer every day. No, like I try, but to be blue and different. Nah. Thank you everyone for watching. Really appreciate it. It would be less fun without you. And I mean, I wouldn't be playing Blitz if nobody was watching. I will, however, be streaming Le Mans Ultimate on Friday, where nobody's going to be watching, but it's going to be fun. So, and it's not going to lag this time. Because they has a very nice selection of tracks this week. So I will be indulging myself in some WEC Imola. Because like the only tracks I don't drive are Coda and Qatar. And Sebring, because Sebring is hella bumpy. I don't like that. Do you appreciate me watching? Well, I do appreciate that while you're here, you can't do any damage elsewhere. And I see that as a good thing. You don't play Blitz. That is true. I don't play Blitz. I just put my brain on autopilot and just go. Well, I'm gonna have to help him. 4005 is over there. That guy's gonna get himself into a 2v1, so I'm gonna have to, like, get behind the conch and work the conch's rear really hard. Obviously, focus on the conch and then take the conch out. And now the 4005 arrived, and the concept has put himself into a very bad spot. And that's 5,000 damage. Give me my 9.5 degree. Lol. I mean, you can still do 5k damage either way. I got a sniper medal and a leopard. How about that? Yeah, look at that. What the hell is that? See, this is the dumbest shit ever, that you have to, like, click on the rank and then you can move to the stats. Right? Because, like, it's actually stupid. It's actually stupid. So, yeah. But Wargaming wants to sell you their garbage ranks. Like, give me some of that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Alright, one more tank can be requested. Unless I missed one. Don't think I did. No, that's 205p. Lance and Say is next up on the list. And there will be one further list after the current one. Alright, Lance and Say. No, maybe I'll stop. You'll stop. You will stop, all right. Yeah, 10 seconds. Wow.
Let's get this show on the road.
10-second timeout. Wow. Oh, look at that! It's a rocket. Where does that go? They got 2, we got 1. I'm the one. Yeah, the stupid XP thing. Yep, it is dumb. You don't even need it, but... Like, the one thing that's much better about YouTube than Twitch is that you can, like, go back. Right, that's the one thing about YouTube that's so much better than on Twitch. Because on Twitch you can't go back. Like, if you missed a moment, you're not gonna see it again. I mean, you had to, like, someone has to clip it, and then like, you can clip it and watch it that way, but you still have to go to the clip. But on YouTube, you can just scroll back, right, and you can rewatch what just happened. And that's so much better. But everything else, pretty much about streaming infrastructure, is better on Twitch. So, yeah. Quing long ding dong. Yo, he's about to get his. No, that doesn't rhyme. God damn it. Homeless in this economy. Yeah. Imagine having a house. You have to live in a milk crate so you can produce more shareholder value. Your entire life, you only exist to create more shareholder value. Remember that, kids. Live in a gulag. You don't live in Russia, or Belarus, or Turkmenistan, which is comically worse. But like, you know, like places like Eritrea or Turkmenistan, they're terrible, terrible countries to be in. But nobody cares about them because they don't do anything to like other countries, you know? They don't. I mean, well, Eritrea, Ethiopia. Sure, but nobody cares about Africa in that regard. At least nobody in Europe cares about Africa, unless it's stealing their resources. Then we do care. But you know, it's always like people only care if it becomes a threat to themselves, right? If it concerns themselves mostly, you know. I have my own gulag. Damn. I gotta have to read the Gulag Archipelago eventually, but it's like 2,000 pages and I can't be bothered. Because that's the screwed up part. Like, the complete version is for free, downloadable on the Internet Archive. But the condensed version isn't, which sucks. Especially like older books, you can get all of them on the Internet Archive, so don't bother buying them. One thing I also recommend is reading the book Propaganda. Read that. Like, it's basically what modern advertising and marketing and propaganda is based on, to some degree. It's like the Bible for salespeople, in a way. Not really, but it is very important. Read it. It's also for free. There's also if you never been there, is it called the Gutenberg Project. It's also a site on the internet that has a lot of books for free that you can read. Download them, read them if you care. I read the Gulag book. I have not read it, but I have it on my computer. And it's like 2,000 pages. So I'll get around to it Get around to it eventually. But I have read another book about Russian gulags that I currently don't remember the title of. And that was, bad. Let's put it that way. Bad. Bad. So, like, cannibalism bad. Like a woman having her legs eaten while she's alive, kind of bad. So, yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, a lot of fucked up stuff has happened. But I don't remember the title of that book exactly, but it wasn't that one. So I don't have that one. So it's somewhere over there. So like the average Tuesday. Pretty much. Pretty much. But yeah, reading that did want to make me not read for a while. Like, I'm generally very bad at reading anyway. It's like I get perhaps one a month if I'm lucky. But yeah. I'm a lot more into like watching series and stuff like that and YouTube documentaries. Even though I have to say I've been meaning to watch Sneaky Pete. It's a show on Amazon Prime. I've been meaning to watch that for like the last fucking 7 or 8 years and I've never gotten to it. I don't know what the hell's stopping me, but I just never get to it. And if it's just sitting there in my watch list that I just like never. Yeah, I actually have I have pieces of paper. I have books that are made from paper, and because here's the thing: not only are they good reading material, you can also burn them once the apocalypse comes, and you can use them to grill with. So that it's double useful. I don't even have a Kindle or something like that because you know I want. Everyone knows about the woman getting that kind of voice. Some for us to Beer Island. It's one of the most known one. Yeah, but what is it called though? What's the dang book called? Because I don't remember like that. I don't remember that. Gotta take this guy. No, what the hell? Hi, Phoenix. How you doing? Gotcha! Tier 5 to you. Alright. Oh, the heck? Hecko. Nah, they're gonna be dead. Yeah. The 252 you. 252 you. Alright. By the way, another thing I can recommend is a book called How to Live with a Huge Penis. Absolutely worth it. So... can highly recommend that. Why are we waiting so long? Why are we waiting so long? I had an interview today that went well. I'm saying good. Ooh, nice. Does the paint? No, it doesn't. But you should read the book. If I remember right, one of the authors is a priest, which makes it funnier. I read for Russian writer Leo Tolstoy. Yeah, but Russian writing is just depression put to paper. Which kind of does describe Russian history quite well. Well, lads, you're all sucking bad. Yeah, hello. You bunch of goobers. Get moving. Exactly. How did that low roll that badly? Jesus. Did you know they renamed Project Cold War to what heat? No, but it's probably not going to make it any better. That thing's been in development for like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, I don't know. And they've been doing so many tests of it. You know, normally, there's not so many public tests of a game that's supposed to actually be released. So are they just like trying to... Is it like a tax write-off? Or something? Sucking Bad, I hate this brand new Breaking Bad sequel. Oh no. Is it about a, is it about a guy with cancer that starts a human trafficking ring to... Yeah. No, can't do that. That's just Donald Trump. Like... Justice for Golf. Oh no. Eyes 2. Oh no, why? Oh man, why? Why? What is this list? What's next? The mouse? Oh man. Really? Goo idea. 2 more tanks can be requested. 2 more tanks can be requested. Make it quick and painless. Like seeing you suffer. Thanks. I hate censorship. Censorship is... I mean, there is no free speech in Europe, as you know. There's no free speech in Europe. So, there's that. It's so funny if you could... Well, I mean, only Diego and 13 can remove moderators' messages because they're mega moderators. You know. You have a license for talking. I thought that was French, and then I read it more closely. Alright, Press Loader, thank you very much for joining. Have a good one. Oh my god, there are a bunch of bums. Campy bums. You bunch of bums. You're Annihilator, you fucking suck. You don't have enough testicles to win this game. Because we need the balls. We need the balls, guys. Censorship should be illegal. Well, it depends. Freedom isn't freedom if it infringes upon someone else's freedom. You know. That D was unnecessary. Look at this. Look at this fucking goober. There's no other way to say that. I think that was the first time I typed something in chat in like months, which is, well, not really, but just found it funny because they are goobers. They simply just are goobers. Because look at this. This is how you lose in Blitz. This is how you become a 40% win rate, alright? By simply not taking map control. That is it. That's the secret to Blitz. Just take map control. Because if you don't take map control, someone else. You know, if you don't establish yourself as the top, you will be made the bottom. Alright? Is that clear? Do you understand that? If you do not establish yourself as the top, you will be made the bottom. That is how Blitz works. Alright? Drink a lamp. How do you drink a lamp? How does that work? How does anybody drink a lamp? Alright. He tried. Goober. 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 Wait, object 275. What is that? What's an object? Is that a... It's a 274. What's a 275? What's a 272? I don't know what a 272 is. But 2 more tanks can be requested. And those are gonna be the last tanks for the day, so make it count. Make it count. What the hell do I do now? This is like the worst kind of place to be in. 17-second reload. You have to because YouTube doesn't allow it to go through. Yeah, exactly. YouTube doesn't like... YouTube hates free speech. Or something like that, I don't know. I think YouTube just hates anything that doesn't make money. 752 then. I only read 252. I said, well, 272 is what I read. But 752, we can do that. YouTube's too woke. Of course it is. The buyer kept, but don't turn around. No, what? No, what is that? Don't turn around. Don't run headfirst into them. Oh no. Don't run headfirst back into them. Fucking hell. Kablamo. And they are currently making the #1 mistake that you can make if you have the position of power, and that is to split up like that. Because now I can get in, and they also have the low ground there. They're like below. They are geographical bottoms. Yeah, there's a grill. I could have minced that grill with a... Alright, Sheridan, get the 180... No, get the... 3, 2, 1. What the fuck? That's a load of bullshit. That That isn't even that isn't even loadier load of bullshit. Holy load of bullshit. Oh my god, you bunch of frickin' goober team out here. $600 scam. All right, so should be grateful you found a team that goes that way. If Smack came back, well, it didn't. It doesn't work out if that happens, because like the city has the high ground. That's kind of the problem with the map. The city does have the high ground. How the hell did you do? You're a 57 heavy. How do you do 0? Shut up, Glory, please. All right, one more tank can be requested, by the way. Thank you, dude. Vibral. What's a vibral?
Time to roll out.
Alright. I should kind of. Well, I mean, you already requested the IS-2 height. I'm gonna load Heesh. I think I should probably change my 183 ammo load up to just Hesh. Right, to make it funnier.
Enemy armor is hit.
Booyaka! A little bit more than 619 though. I need more depression. Hell nah, you ain't side scraping, brother. Look at that, he's now evacuating. No! To make the sound of two beavers in love. What? Okay. What's that then? I think this vehicle should have 0 degrees of gun depression.
Penetration.
Ah! Not a single Hesh so far. I'm sad.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Not a single frickin' Hesh. Nope, 57, don't do that. Don't fucking turn, you bitch boy.
Fuel tank's hit. Got him.
Scammed. 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 4,400. Feels illegal. How many shots was that? 4? A 6? That's weak. That's weak sauce. Six shots. 6 hits. Hell yeah. mean, that one on the VK didn't do anything, but... I am crime. Because playing the 183 should be illegal. Alright, and we got a Fwee Defender. That's what it's called, right? The Fwee Defender. Playing the shit mission should be legal. No, we don't. What do you have to remind me that tank exists? Oh, yeah, I was having a good day. I was having a good day. And then you reminded me that tank exists. Just why? It's a Leopard Ptah. Oh my. Hello? Do we have any counters to that? Perhaps? Maybe? No? Oh my. Nope, we don't have anything to counter that. So I'm gonna die now. Yeah, you're shit, by the way. So, oh, look at that! Now he's like this is like the worst thing that you can have, you know, like when your team's useless. But the second you die, someone shows up where someone's supposed to be. It's kind of funny. That is kind of funny. But yeah, now the enemy has control and they're gonna win. And I don't get bullets anymore because I've already done all the missions and there's no rewards for this and didn't spend $23.99 on a mission pass. Right? Sad, isn't it? It's quite sad. See, and it says claim. Even though, I mean, let's be honest, you're paying 24 euros for garbage. Like, where's the value? Is there any value in this? I mean, the ×5s are ×5s and the gold boosters, right? But where's the value? It's all avatars and like camos. They're all fucking useless. You know, what are you paying for? I mean, even here it keeps going. It's camos, avatar. There's the STRV 81 in here, right? That you have to pay for. But it, like you could get that damn thing for free. You know, it's like, really, chat. The Chuck avatar, right, Chug? Well, yeah, valid point, I guess. Valid point. I definitely. Naval maneuvers avatar. Don't forget to clean your feathers before swimming in your mother. Yeah, but you know, I get it. I get it. But would you pay $29.99 for a $23.99? Sorry, for a duck? But yeah, it's all just junk. It is all just junk. Alright, let's try this again. With this tank. Alright. They got 2 mediums, we got 2 mediums. And their mediums are bad. That's good. And our grill thinks he's a super heavy. That's the enemy team is much better than ours. His enemy team has actually taken position and they have taken map control, which means they're gonna fucking win. GG, and those mediums are bums because they're now sitting there. They see that happening. And they do nothing. What are you fucking doing? Bunch of goobers. They're still sitting back there doing nothing. The hell? The fuck are they waiting for? There's so many people calling the sauce. So many people calling sauce. Yeah, I mean, look, you lose. Fucking lose. Just fucking lose. Gotta take action. Take control. If you ain't taking control, someone else will do it for you. Patchett's still fucking camping. Alright. And look, they're dead. I mean, see, they played this the way it's supposed to be played. Right? They identified the weakness on our team, and they won. And then these two guys did absolutely nothing. And obviously our heavies and stuff were sucky because they just died. And they got rushed because they didn't even take any control. The Grill tried to take control, but he wasn't the one that's responsible for that, right? We got a Kranvagn and an E5, which are, you know, hold down tanks. They're not as good at that as a Rhinoceronte and an I7, but it's still their frickin' job to take that control if they can get it and to not die. And, you know, and then I am gonna come on from the outside because I'm a chieftain and doesn't have any armor. Right? And shoot them, but then I don't have any mediums behind me. I have to fight that Brigetto on my own to get in, at least. And then those two guys, the mediums, that just don't do anything of value. And what do they do? Nothing? Yeah, nothing, exactly. I mean, they did more than the other guys, which is, you know, because they were alive the longest. Simply because of that. But I mean, look at these. What you getting from here? You got nothing. You got nothing. That's why they lose, because they don't take control. They don't take advantage of others, right? That is how you get rich. That French ballsack guy said, behind every great fortune is a great crime. And that is how Blitz works too, right? If you don't take advantage of others, if you don't exploit others, if you don't establish your dominance above others, you're not gonna get anywhere. You know? And it's not this, like, alpha male bullshit. It's like, scam them. Actually scam them. Take their money and give them nothing in return. And the same in Blitz. Well, that's what Wargaming's doing to you, but you take map control and the enemy gets nothing for that. Saying they're the better moral person. That submissive little bitches that don't know what they're doing. It's a tank game, not capitalism. You know? That's like the exact that's the thing. The exact things you're not supposed to be in real life is the ones you have to be in Blitz. To be good at Blitz. A selfish, arrogant, exploiting asshole. That's how you have to play, right? You play for yourself and for yourself only, and what you do with your team is you increase the effectiveness of your team. Ideally as well, right? By turning them into bait, by, you know, moving around in a way that your teammates get shot instead of you, so you can do the damage, right? But if you're a submissive little bitch, you're gonna lose, right? Bottoms get dicked. That's how Blitz works, you know, and that's how. Unfortunately, society works as well, right? Because in Blitz, that's what you need to do to win, and in society, that's also unfortunately what you need to do to win. Right? You need to scam other people. Like, you basically, to win in trade, to win in the economy, you have to provide the other guy less value than they're providing to you, right? That's how you win, right? They get less than you do. That's how trading works. But, even better, you want to make them feel like they got more than you. Like they actually got less than you. But you want to make them feel as if they got more than you. And we don't have map control. Once again, even in tier fucking 1 I lose because I don't have map control. Come on, Light. Vic. Mate, there's a Panzer 2 in front of you. I have to shoot the fuck. We got a match, which is beautiful. But we're also going to lose that match, which is not beautiful. Because again, these are submissive little bitches that don't take map control. Look at the enemy. Look at the control they have. They're already in our spawn. And we don't have that. So basically, the only chance we got is we take out these, like, runaways here. You know? We're still down one guy because the cruise is AFK, and we're down 2 guys now. I mean, we can get the Panzer, hopefully. Panzer 38T, which is, funnily enough, a Czech tank, as far as I'm aware, because I think the Panzer 35T, and 38T as well, I think they were made, like, in Le Czech. Mike Czech. Oh, mate, it's a guy right there! You fucking goober! I'm done. We got a tier 1 game, but is this guy a horse? Like, is he a horse? You know, because horses like wear those like things on the side so they can't see anything, right? Is this guy a horse? You know? Because that would explain a lot. I mean, I think they might even still be able to win. You know, they might get lucky here because they're low HP. So, you know, these 2 guys, I mean, they're banging, but they're doing a pretty banging job as well. Hey, look at that. Nice, 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 nice. Let's go. Ah, it has been a few weeks since I actually got a tier 1 battle. But, yeah. I'm kind of a panda mode. Yes! Yes! Got the ace, let's go. Beautiful. Still got the ace anyway. That is a good thing. That now puts me at 219 aces in the M2 Lite. Let's friggin' go. Like, a quarter of my aces are in the M2 Lite. A quarter of all my aces are the M2 Lite. Go. Let's go. That is what I call success. That right there is what I call success. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Supremacy, supremacy, supremacy. I don't do those. I don't do those. Alright. I thank you all once again very much that you've joined today. And we'll be back on Friday with most likely Le Mans Ultimate again. I might even be back tomorrow with Le Mans Ultimate. I don't know yet. We'll see about that. And yeah, just for gold next time. Well, maybe we'll see. We'll see about that. Ha, ha. All right. As always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your support. I hope to see you again on Friday. Until then, stay safe. Don't die. Goodbye.